back. I think it was Jarvis Green or Richard Seymour.
It was Green, yeah, it was Green.
Slung him out of there, and he had the presence, which Eli has done in his whole career. He is one thing. If I was teaching young kids and have clinics and that, I'd say learn to, when you feel pressure, go backwards. You don't always step up. You got to know when to go back. And he has shown that in his career a lot, to be able to go backwards and focus down the field and still make those throws. And Tyree's catch, gosh, it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in New York pro football, whatever you want to say. It is an unbelievable play.
That's in the law. We're talking with Phil Simms. And I thought about, Phil, a play that was enormous was the Boss play. And I thought it's funny. It was 10-89. 11-89 used to run that tight end seam all the time. And that play was an enormous play.
Enormous. I thought it got the Giants.
Yards, yeah.
It got them back in
rhythm. It was a play you ran all the time with Bavaro, all the time.
It was. And, you know, that was another play. And look, I'm not getting on Fox here, but I was trying to see, how does Boss go down the field? He had Rodney Harrison chasing him.
Yep.
There was no safety in the middle. It wasn't the typical split coverage because Rodney Harrison was up. So I was going, well, how does that happen? How does he go down the field like that?
Now, you ran that play forever with Bavaro. Where would you expect the safety to be on that play?
Well, there should have been somebody right in the middle of the field, so when he caught it, he should have been getting blown up.
Right.
And how about 3rd and 10, Phil, on the later on in the drive off that Tyree catch? I could not believe. I know he rolled out right, but Steve Smith was wide open.
Yeah, you know what it looked like? It looked like the Patriots were so focused on hitting a couple receivers. I can't tell, and I'm not going to say what defensive back, but it looked like they double covered a guy, and they were so focused on him down the field that somebody lost who they were supposed to take, and because that was man-to-man coverage. Right. And Steve Smith was wide open out the flat. They blew the coverage that time. And then the other one.
Looks like it was a pick play. We just saw it.
A little bit of a pick play. And I'll tell you something else. How about Hobbs on the slant and go with Plaxico, man? I mean, he gets absolutely, you know, you want to talk about getting beat at the corner. I understand that's tough. Just like Moss had trouble, you know, he just blew up the corner on the other side for his touchdown. He kills Hobbs on that play. I mean, he leaves Hobbs standing still on that play.
He does. Moss was one-on-one. They decided to double cover Wes Welker on the play. I saw it plainly on TV. And I thought the blitz, the all-out blitz by the Patriots, I was very surprised in that situation. You're too far away from the goal line to do that, and it gave too much space for Plexico Burris to work in. And when it's an all-out blitz, you're a defensive back. You're taught one thing, Mike and Chris. Go for the first move because you got to hope the pressure gets there.
And he did.
So he goes for the first move.
And he got killed.
I don't blame him at all. That is just a tough defensive call by the coaches.
We went the slant move, and then the go killed him.
That tells you the Giants were waiting on that. They always have that in there.
So we don't blame the defensive back there, Phil. We blame the idea that they blocked the blitz. That's why they...
Absolutely. That was an extremely tough play. And the Giants had everybody to the right side, and they single Plexico Burris. So Eli Manning stands there and goes, well, I know what I'm doing. He didn't even have to think. Catch it, throw it.
Yeah. You know, I thought it was a very significant play in the game, too, was earlier in the first half, Giant defense, Phil. It was third quarter. You know, they got that penalty with 12 men in the field. They were able to get a first down out of that. Crowd was into it from a New England standpoint, and a Giant defense got them off the field. There's a couple of times in this game at 7-3 at the end of the half when he fumbled at midfield.
And then the Strahan sack.
Yeah, the Strahan sack.
At the 25-yard line.
There are a couple of plays where the Patriots had scored again. Giants got to get out of their comfort zone. Game could have been different, and that was a big sequence because they got a first down. The Giants' offense was on the field, had to go back off, and the Giants still got him off the field. That was a big, significant play there.
Is that where the Patriots went for it?
Yes.
They went after the Strahan sack. They went for it on 4th and 13.
You know, I had no problems. I thought Tom Brady in the game, I thought he was. The word is valiant. I thought he hung in there. I thought he played well under extreme pressure.
I agree with you.
He got blocked. He got knocked down 19 times.
You know, I saw a couple ex-quarterbacks in the hotel after the game, and they go, "We weren't really rooting for anybody." And I don't mean this is bad, but they go, "But you know, it was kind of fun to see Tom Brady get hit." Oh my God! You know, there's a lot of quarterbacks just never change. They want to see the same for everybody, but. To me, a big play, so many big plays in a game like this, so many near plays. And Tom Brady on third down, you're there, you're a quarterback, he had time, they weren't open, so he drifted to his left. He knew Strahan was coming, and because I saw him look out the corners, and he took the sack. It took him out of field goal range. I never criticized like that, but that you just cannot. You got to know.
Can't get
sacked. Got a field goal, you throw it
field
away.
Goal range. Yes,
and he definitely had time.
Good point.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing. The Giants could really let their pass rush go. They're not the biggest front four. They get 2 weeks. They're rested up. Mike, you and I talked a little bit just off camera or off the phone once, and you said the field's not going to be fast. I said, no, I think the field's going to be very fast.
That's what everyone kept telling me, and you're the one. Everyone told me, the one thing about this field's going to hurt the pass rush. It's a very slow field, guys who play on it, and then you came in and said, hey, the NFL took over the field. The field's lightning.
It's lightning. It was. In fact, it was almost too fast because some of the guys were slipping. To get it that fast, they make it too hard, so the cleats don't dig in as much as they should. So, but the Giants pass rush, giving them 2 weeks, they got rested up, and I just thought the depth, the amount of pass rushers they have. Justin Tuck, it was an unsung hero.
No, he played great.
No, we couldn't.
But here's why. Because I'm just guessing what I was seeing on TV. Because the Patriots were trying to take their extra guy against the four-man rush. They weren't looking at Osi Umenyiora and Michael. They were trying to double Justin Tuck.
So and
that allowed. You remember a couple blitzes where Kavika Mitchell came right up the middle?
Yep, a good point.
Because they were too worried about double teaming, and he just walked right in there and caused problems.
If you looked at their film from the whole year and broke it down, as I'm sure the Pats did every play, Tuck was their best player this year on defense. I mean,
I heard a lot of people say that. I didn't hear this till a Patriot person was telling me after the game. They said the one guy that really we were concerned about was Tuck.
Yeah, Tuck
that is unbelievable.
And he had a great year. He had a great game anyway.
And when he was at Notre Dame, he left early. The Giants get him, and I was told by many, many people if he'd have stayed in, he'd have been a top 5 pick in the NFL draft the following year. And you can see why now.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, the Giants got a bargain in that new contract they signed him for because he is an absolute top-end defensive lineman in the NFL.
He is. Phil, I thought that I know that you couldn't run out the whole clock, but at first and goal at the 6, I thought that if you're Brady there, and this is going to sound crazy, but I might be a little more conservative on either first or second down. I got the field goal. I got a tie. I don't want to take – he's got to score a touchdown, but I want to run the ball there, make the Giants get that clock go to 2 minutes, or make the time go, make them use a timeout.
Yes.
I thought they were a little too hasty in their first 2 plays. I think you could have used the clock a little bit more to your advantage. I blame that on Brady. Is that true? What do you think about that?
Well, if I was doing the game, it's always easy to sit home and think of this stuff, but if I was sitting there, I was going, that was my first thought. I might think of running it, play to win, and play to kill the clock at the same time. But they had a play in their pocket. They ran it. The Giants covered it. And it was supposed to be thrown over the middle, something like what Eli Manning threw to who was that? That was Tyree.
Tyree,
yep.
It was almost the same play, and the outlet to it was Randy Moss doing a double move on the backside. He was wide open.
It was a bad throw.
He was wide open.
Yeah, he was.
And Brady just threw it so hard that Randy Moss. So they had that play. They must have loved it. So when you get those chances, Chris and Mike, you got to go ahead and take those in a game. And 2, they were fortunate. They get that third down. The Giants try to play man-to-man, and they get Randy Moss singled up. Again, almost like Plexico Burress. The perfect call at the perfect time gives you touchdown.
And I also thought, too, that I didn't think the Giants utilized those timeouts that great there for a second or 2, but I thought that Coughlin, who ran on the field to call his last timeout off the Eli sack, was a great timeout. And he ran on the field. He called it. You guys, quarterback just got sacked. Let's get everybody calm down. Let's use our last timeout here, Phil. Give me your thoughts. You remember that? I thought that was
sure. I have to tell you, I lost track of a lot of things in that last drive because it was so wild. As I was watching on TV with some friends, or we were there, I go, was that third? Was it second? I don't know, because it was just incredible. Every play was, even on that sack, I thought, he's going to fumble because it looked like he was going to get hit from behind.
Right,
it was just an incredible drive. And so that was very good by Tom Coughlin. All he had to do was really turn and go down the sideline and get that timeout. That's a rule they've instituted for the head coaches so they can control the clock themselves a little more. But he sees, I think it was Mike Carey right in front of him, and so he'd go ahead and tries to get to him. But that was a very good job. I think overall that's a game management is something that Tom Coughlin has done pretty good. They've had a great run in the playoffs in their game management. Going back to the Dallas Cowboy game when they were backed up and they –